This is a new species of creature that has never been seen by mankind in the 10,000-meter deep sea. Just as they were studying it, the internal power suddenly shut down and there was a loud crash outside the elevator. Then a bright light appeared and the whole rig exploded. The elevator's cable was cut and it was falling towards the bottom of the sea at a very high speed. The people rushed to put on their diving suits and opened the external hatch to apply pressure before the elevator plunged to the bottom of the sea and escaped. But the debris from the rig's explosion is falling, and the men can only risk being hit by it as they struggle to move forward. Then a humanoid creature suddenly appeared above them. Luckily, he didn't attack, and the group made it safely into the cargo tunnel. Luckily, no one was hurt, except for Mike's oxygen filter, which was damaged by a heavy object and needed to be repaired at the staging area. Then they boarded a cargo truck and headed out. The tunnel is 10.5 kilometers long, and we thought we'd make it to our destination. But when the railroad tracks were destroyed in the middle of the tunnel, they had to go on foot again, not realizing that there were monsters following them underwater. Paul, who was the last to cross the barrier, was pulled back by the monster, and the crowd rushed to help. Unfortunately, the monster's strength was so great that Paul was dragged right out of his wetsuit. This horrific scene scared the crowd and they rushed to the front to escape. However, they encountered the monster again. The eerie screams and the fear of the deep sea made them stand still and dare not move. At that moment, the monster suddenly appeared behind Laura, but when she turned around, she realized that Mike had been dragged away. Everyone rushed to rescue him, but he was not hurt. In order to protect everyone's safety, the captain decided to go back to pick up the gun, but the monster dragged Laura away and pulled her up to the lampstand by a rope. When he tried to pull the captain up, the monster came back again. This was the first time she saw its face, and Laura was so frightened that she backed away from it, but the monster was not going to let her go. It took the diving helmet in its mouth. Luckily, the captain climbed up in time and gave the monster a beating. The monster gave up eating and pulled the two of them upwards. As the pressure changed too quickly, the diving suit could not withstand the alarm. The captain rushed to persuade Laura to let go or else both of them would be crushed to death. But Laura, with tears in her eyes, refused to give up. With only 3% of the suit intact, the captain cuts the rope, and then there's a huge explosion. Once again, the captain gave Laura the chance to live. When she woke up again, the wetsuit was on the verge of being scrapped and she had lost contact with the rest of her colleagues. Not to mention that she didn't know where she was now. But the sudden appearance of an octopus scared her. After making sure there were no monsters around, she could only accelerate her pace towards another rig. Just as the oxygen was running out, Laura was lucky enough to find an abandoned base. When the lights were turned on, her fears were finally calmed.